post-match pint after the classic encounter that was Liverpool 1, Fulham 0. After the frills and spills of the weekend, the 4-3 over Spurs, it was back to the humdrum of a regulation 3 points. To discuss that, we've got John Milburn on the vodka. Look at that right there. And Phil Blundell, who's playing it a bit safe.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one then? Not quite the classic, but a good 3 points.
Well, nothing really happened, did it? There was some football, and then Darwin Núñez decided he was winning a penalty, which it's the most I think I've ever seen anyone win a penalty, because it wasn't like he ever had the ball or he had control or there was any element of that. It was like, I'm just going to chase that ball, and he managed to nip in front of the defender, win the ball. Liverpool get a penalty. Salah despite it's a fantastic penalty. It's one of those where a goalkeeper's 90% of the time going to dive, and even if he doesn't dive, there's a chance that still goes in, because it's just a very well hit penalty.
He's done the smart thing with the penalties last two games, hasn't he? Just smash them down the middle,
get him on target. Given that was the problem last time. It's the case of just if you put the ball between those white things, you've got a chance. Like quite a high chance.
Often helps.
So don't put them wide. It feels like something that he's learnt from, and I'm pleased. I'm pleased he's grown as a human being.
If we're being kind to Núñez, which I'd like to be, he showed good determination after a terrible bit of control. Really, I think it was in the build-up where he fails to hold on to it, gives it away. He's obviously determined to win it back. Just nips in front of Diop, and Diop's really cumbersome. And it's a definite penalty for me. I don't think there can be any doubt about that.
I haven't seen it back, but real time it looked like a penalty. I think all night, like, if I'm being charitable about the whole performance from the team, I think we are used as a football club to playing football games midweek in May and then meaning a lot more than this one did tonight. Yeah. And I think you could feel that in the crowd. The jeopardy wasn't really there. And I just thought Liverpool weren't terrible, but we just couldn't seem to get the ball to drop or for anything to really stick. And I think Núñez probably exemplified that more than most, in that I just don't think he could bring the ball under control. I think we had some nice passages of play tonight, but I just didn't really feel we carried the type of consistent threat that you've seen us in other games in the season. But yeah, I thought the penalty was a clear-cut penalty. But you can now see with Núñez playing in the kind of number 9 position, the role that kind of Gakpo's been playing, and you saw a big difference when Gakpo came on the pitch, I felt, in terms of keep getting the ball under control and creating threats. Same with Robertson. When Robertson came on as well, we saw the same thing, that kind of, instead of us chewing the ball a little bit, it was very, very direct. His first touch of the ball created an opportunity for Núñez, and I felt, certainly in the first half, you're watching a Fulham team that were trying to play a high line, and it was crying out for us to try and exploit it with Núñez's pace over the top. It just never seemed to trigger that. No. As I say, the ball.
It's like we weren't expecting to do that though, and therefore we weren't like, we should do this, because teams don't come to Anfield and play like that, do they?
There was no kind of flexibility in the way they approached the game, but like, as I say, it had all of the hallmarks of kind of 5 years ago this week we were playing against Roma, and kind of 18 years ago we were playing Chelsea in semi-finals.
4 years ago tomorrow, Barcelona.
So that's
we've been spoiled, haven't we? Let's be honest. We've been spoiled.
We've been absolutely spoiled, and as I say, for a game that kind of, I don't think any of us are I'd love to see our rivals slip up a couple of times. We need snookers at the moment to get into the 4th place, and so it's important from that perspective. But it didn't really carry the weight of expectation or the excitement that you would have wanted. Look, I'm delighted to get 3 points, but yeah, just not. Very little to kind of write home about, I thought, from a performance.
A few people made the point at the weekend that with United beating Villa, you're hoping for something there, and then also, with Southampton going ahead and then losing at Newcastle, there's just not been even that little sniff of a miracle, that sniff that something might be on. It just sort of feels like we're going through the motions. I know it's important to get the wins under our belt and go into next season, end the season on a high.
It's a 5 on the bounce now.
Yeah, which is let's not complain. I mean, it's a long time since we've done that, but for me at times tonight, it felt like we had 8 lads and then 3 forwards in front of them who were disconnected. There was, I don't know, that it looks like the combinations aren't quite there. The runs are unorthodox, I always think, of Diaz and Núñez. Yeah. They're making very unorthodox runs. At times, Salah and Núñez were so close together, you could almost see Salah willing him just like, fuck off. just not in a bad way, just stand 6 yards over there so I can play the ball to you. He was so tight to him out wide in the first half at times.